Welcome back to Financial Freedom 101. My name's Robert, and this is episode 23. I would like to start off by apologizing for the long delay between episodes as of late. Our goal has always been to deliver a bi-weekly podcast, and over the last 3 months, we've only produced 3, including this one. The reason for this delay has been due to an internal realignment of operations caused by recent events. As our listeners have heard on several occasions, the military has been a big part of my life and has been a big influence on how I do things. Although I retired a year ago from the military, I recently accepted a job working as a contractor with the U.S. Army and have been in the process of moving back to the U.S. Additionally, we have officially launched our Wolfpack Academy property investment training program 3 weeks ago, which has taken a lot of our time and attention. While we continue to adjust to these changes, the release of new podcast episodes will be reduced to approximately 1 per month. But rest assured, we will aim at being back to our bi-weekly release schedule by the end of the year. With all of that said, if you haven't been following along with the show, this podcast is all about becoming financially free. But what does that really mean, and why do you want to become financially free? If you are asking yourself these questions, interested in financial freedom, then this episode and this podcast is for you. This episode is all about financial freedom, the ultimate goal. Just over a year ago, we launched Financial Freedom 101 with the goal of providing our listeners, clients, and students with the tips and secrets to help them on their journey to becoming financially free. As such, I can think of no better way to celebrate our 1-year anniversary than by talking about what it really means to be financially free. Over the year, we have spoken a lot about everyday tasks that you can do to help set yourself up for success and help you exit the rat race. We have spoken about different ways to create passive income streams and about different types of investments that will allow your money to work for you. We have even brought on special guests that have spoken about services they offer that can help support your journey to financial freedom. But with all that said, how many truly understand what it means to be financially free or what it takes to make this goal a reality? Financial freedom means different things to a lot of people. For some, it means the ability to kick back on the beach on their own private island or in some tropical paradise, not having to worry about money. For others, this means having enough money in the bank to retire and not having to work again. Yet others simply see this as the ability to not have to worry about paying their bills on a monthly basis. For us at Wolfpack, we see it as a combination of the above thoughts and so much more. For us, we see financial freedom as the ability to pursue the things we want to pursue without having to worry about the bills on a daily basis. We see it as allowing us to work when we want, on what we want, and even where we want. Essentially, it allows us to focus on what we think is important in our lives instead of focusing solely on that monthly paycheck. For those of you that have been following the show or are students of our Wolfpack Academy, you know we provide a no fluff, no BS of all the topics we speak about or provide training on, and the topic of financial freedom is no different. Many people will see ads on TV or the internet promise you the ability to get rich quick by following a few easy steps, and all you have to do is buy their program at the low introductory rate of $19.95. Unfortunately, the only people getting rich in a few easy steps is a person selling the product. Additionally, if you play games on your phone, you know that most of the so-called free games require you to sit through advertisements at random times or to get additional freebies. One of the more common type of ads I have seen recently, at least in Singapore, is for copycat investment apps. These apps supposedly allow you to pick from a list of well-known investors to copy their trading activity. All you have to do is deposit money into your account, sit back, and watch the money roll in. In fact, the person in the ad talks about how they deposited as little as $50 into their account and within 1 day had already made over $350. The issue is, if this app actually worked on a regular basis, why would they be giving it away for free? Additionally, they don't mention the hidden costs such as transaction fees, capital gains taxes, platform fees, and much more, which is liable to take at least 50% of your earnings once all is said and done. Basically, you can find countless numbers of get-rich-quick products out there, all promise you the ability to becoming financially free with little to no effort on your part. While there may be some that are lucky enough to have these schemes work for them, I am here to tell you that becoming financially free takes a lot of sacrifice, hard work, and the confidence to take risks. After all, if getting rich was so fast and easy, wouldn't everybody be rich? While I wouldn't say we are financially free, I can confirm that we have sacrificed and risked a lot to get where we are at. We have given up our nights and weekends to focus on our business, to hone our trade, and to increase our skill sets, all in an attempt to promote our business. We have risked our savings and foregone family vacations in order to have the funds required to build our business. We have even spent our limited downtime to network and grow our power team, all in the attempt to learn from others, avoid making common mistakes, and set ourselves up for success. As we continually say, this process is a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's no get-rich-quick schemes, and you need to be willing to put in the time and effort if you hope to reach that finish line. I have ran several marathons and even a few triathlons in my time, and neither are things you should do without preparation, training, or commitment. The first marathon I ran was done on less than 1 month's notice. Many people told me that it couldn't be done, that I needed more time to train, but I didn't listen. I figured I was a U.S. Marine. I was attending the U.S. Naval Academy, and I was in pretty good shape. I ran all the time. I was consistently running a sub 18-minute 3-mile fitness test. So how hard could running a marathon be? Although I was able to finish the race in just over 4 hours, right around 4 hours and 15 minutes, I quickly discovered how hard a marathon can actually be. Specifically, I found out around mile 17 when I hit the proverbial wall. I learned very quickly how much determination, commitment, and effort it took to stay the course and finish, especially when I saw people dropping from the race and realized how easy it would be just to stop running and quit. Despite finishing the race, the pain and discomfort did not stop, but only got worse the next day when my body decided to mutiny against me and basically refused to function. I couldn't move. I was in pain thinking of walking, and I literally cried at the thought of having to walk up 7 flights of stairs to my dorm room. I bring all of this up because this is exactly what it's like for most people that try to take shortcuts to financial freedom. They may experience initial success, i.e. completing the race, but pay for it shortly afterward, the pain and inability to function. How many stories have you heard about people winning millions in the lottery and then ending up penniless in a matter of a few years? How many people made money on Bitcoin's incredible rise during the COVID pandemic, only to have lost their shirts during the first couple of months of 2022? How many people have started businesses without doing the proper research or prep work, only to see their business fail? I'm a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki, and for those of you who have read his books, you know that his first business failed, leaving him bankrupt. He enjoyed the initial success, but suffered bankruptcy because he lacked the knowledge of how things actually worked. I'm also a big fan of Gordon Ramsay and his show Kitchen Nightmares. For those of you who have watched the show, you know that many of these restaurants that are featured are owned by individuals who have never worked in the restaurant industry before. Most of these businesses experience that initial success, but due to a lack of education, a lack of prep work, their businesses started to fail and fail big. I experienced success in completing the marathon, but ended up paying for my lack of effort and training. But guess what? Hope is not lost. I was able to learn from my mistakes on my first marathon, and in fact, I set my goals even higher for the second one. For my second marathon, I trained for it. I increased my run distance from 3 miles to 8 and 9 miles a day. I ran half marathons to increase my endurance. I ran countless numbers of hills to increase my strength, and I read on treadmills to increase my speed, all in an effort to run a 3-hour, 15-minute marathon and qualify for the Boston Marathon. Yes, you heard that right. 3 hours and 15-minute marathon, over an hour faster than my first one. When the day of the race came, I was ready. I was confident. I was going to succeed as I did my prep work. I felt good. And when the gun went off, I started running with confidence. Mile 1 passed, and I was able to start breaking away from the masses. Mile 5 passed, and I was hitting my stride. Mile 10 passed, and I was averaging a 7-minute 30-second to a 7-minute 45-second per mile pace, well on my way to accomplishing my goal. Then mile 14 hit, and I felt something pop in my knee. It sent a shock of excruciating pain through my body. It hurt. I had trouble bending my knee, and I wanted nothing more than to quit. But I couldn't. I put in the time and effort to train for the marathon. I wanted to finish. This setback was nothing more than an obstacle I had to overcome to finish the race. Although I did not finish in the time I wanted, I still finished with a time of 3 hours and 45 minutes, 30 minutes faster than the year before. And the next day, despite being a little sore, I was able to function. I was able to walk and move and go about my normal daily business. Becoming financially free isn't something that is going to happen overnight, but will take time, effort, and commitment. You will experience roadblocks and obstacles that will need to be overcome, just like I did at mile 17. There may even be times in which the pressure, the stress, and the situation goes to a certain point that you just want to call it quits. But these are the times you have to put your head down and push through it. The outcome may not look like what you had planned, but it will be the outcome you wanted. I may not have finished and qualified for the Boston Marathon, but the next 2 marathons I ran, my finishing time improved. The 3 or 4 half marathons I ran after that gave me the confidence to take the plunge and run a triathlon, which I finished in a much better time frame than I had planned. I was able to complete these long endurance races and still function normally afterwards because I planned, trained, and committed to the process. The same is true for our goal of becoming financially free. There's no secret to becoming financially free. While some will get lucky, for the vast majority of us, it will take time, energy, and sacrifices. There will be roadblocks and obstacles along the way in which you will need to show your commitment in order to overcome them. Some people may get there faster than you, while others may take a lot longer. But it's not about them. It's about you and your goals. It's about your journey. We have spoken about it before, but our journey to financial freedom has had its fair share of challenges. We have spoken about how it took us over 3 years from the time we took our investment training course to the time we did our first deal. Although during this time frame, we saw several individuals speed past us. We also saw a large number give up because they hit the roadblocks. They lacked the drive or were looking for the get-rich-quick scheme that never materialized. I mentioned at the start of this episode that I have recently accepted a contract working with the U.S. military. Although to most, going from a part-time consultancy job where I had flexibility and freedom to a full-time job where there is little flexibility may seem like a step backwards or the complete opposite of being financially free, I would have to argue that it isn't, but actually validation of our hard work. Working with the U.S. military is something I enjoy doing, and on top of that, after discussing with my wife, I was able to accept the position and move overseas with little worry about the financial impact. While it has required us going back through the budgeting process and reviewing our fixed and variable expenses, this is nothing more than an annual review that you should be doing anyways to ensure you are maintaining healthy financial habits. Don't get me wrong, moving overseas is a stressful event and does put a bit of a temporary strain on the cash flow, but how many people can say that they are able to do it without worrying about their financial impact? Being financially free means different things to different people, and regardless of what your definition is, the common thread for all definitions is the fact that you are not worried about figuring out where the money is coming from to pay the bills, even if you choose to take time off to do nothing. It gives you the freedom to work when you want and do what you want. Our goal at Wolfpack Consulting is to help individuals achieve their goal of becoming financially free, and this podcast is one of those mediums in which we have been helping by providing tips, techniques, and secrets to getting you out of the rat race and on to enjoying the rest of your life of financial freedom. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions or need support in locating your off-ramp from the rat race, visit our website and drop us a line. If you want to learn more about the options that are out there or are interested in learning more about our preferred method of securing financial freedom, international property investing in the UK, we are here to help. I want to thank you again for sticking with us through this period of adjustment, for being one of our loyal listeners and a part of the Wolfpack team. Join us in a few weeks' time as we continue to bring you the tips, techniques, and secrets to becoming financially free. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this episode. And until next time, have a great week ahead.